Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling one of the biggest questions out there. What actually makes us happy? We're going to break down the science, and it's all based on some really fascinating work from psychologist Bruce Hood.
So let's just start with this thought. You've seen it, right? Little kids absolutely losing their minds with joy over a cardboard box or a shiny rock. It really makes you wonder, where does all that simple, easy joy go when we grow up?
And that really is the central mystery we're going to unpack today. What is it that changes between childhood and adulthood that makes finding and keeping happiness feel like such hard work?
All right, let's get into the diagnosis. The first clue to solving this puzzle, according to the science, isn't found out there in the world. It's actually right here inside our own skulls. It all starts with our brain's natural and kind of surprising tendency to be a little self-centered. You might remember this word from a psych class somewhere, egocentrism. And look, for a little kid, it's totally normal. It's a developmental stage. They cover their eyes and think you can't see them. But as adults, if that self-focus goes unchecked, it can become a huge roadblock to our own happiness.
What's so interesting is that our self isn't just one single thing. The philosopher William James broke it down into two parts. You've got the I self, that's the part of you listening to me right now, the conscious part living in the moment. But then there's the me self, and that's the whole story you tell yourself about yourself. All your memories, your identity, your past. The I self is the actor, but the me self is the script it's constantly reading from.
So here's the problem. When that me self gets too loud, when it becomes too egocentric, it leads to what Bruce Hood calls the curse of the self. We get stuck in these loops, right? Constantly comparing ourselves to others on social media, beating ourselves up for past mistakes, or spinning out with anxiety about the future. Sound familiar to anyone?
Okay, so if getting stuck in our own heads is the diagnosis, what's the cure? Well, the antidote is actually built right into our biology, even if we forget it sometimes. We are wired for connection.
Now check out this number, because this is really important. Studies on identical twins found that our genes, our DNA, only account for about 40 to 50% of our baseline happiness. So what does that mean? It means more than half of your happiness is up for grabs. It's shaped by your choices, your mindset, and your actions. It's not just locked in at birth.
So where does that other 50+% come from? Well, when researchers ask kids what they need for a happy life, it's not more toys or more screen time. Over and over, the number one answer is relationships, friends and family. From day one, we know this instinctively. Connection is key.
And this all connects to this really cool idea called the social brain hypothesis. Basically, it argues that our big, powerful brains didn't evolve just so we could invent things or do math. They evolved to help us navigate super complex social circles. Our intelligence isn't just logical, it's fundamentally social.
So, let's put it all together. Here's the most crucial point of the whole explainer. If we want to build a happier, more fulfilling life, the answer isn't to get more from me. The real work is in making a deliberate shift in our focus from me to we.
This right here is the core prescription. It's about shifting from an egocentric perspective, that self-focused view, to an allocentric one. And that's just a way of saying other-focused. It's a practice, something you have to actively do. Turn your attention away from your own internal chatter and point it outwards toward other people and the world.
So how do you actually do that? Well, the material lays out some really practical steps. Things like actively fighting against isolation, making that call or sending that text, consciously rejecting those toxic social comparisons. All of it is designed to do one thing: quiet that loud, anxious ego and strengthen your connection to others.
And what's wild is that this is not some new idea. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius was writing about this almost 2,000 years ago. The modern science we're talking about is basically just confirming this piece of ancient wisdom. Your inner world creates your outer world.
So, to wrap this all up, I want to leave you with this one simple question. The next time you're feeling down or stuck or just a little bit off, pause for a second and just ask yourself, right now, in this moment, are my thoughts focused on me or are they focused on we? Because the quality of your life might just come down to the answer.